Big story is what happened immediately after this game. A 50-minute session between Sarri and his players in the dressing room. The backroom staff reportedly not included. So what was discussed in this meeting? The reports are out. Reportedly, Eden Hazard among players singled out for criticism for supposedly playing as he wanted, not as he was instructed. Sarri reportedly also asked his players what he can do better. Let's get some insight onto what may have actually happened in this meeting. Gab, it was a closed-door meeting, yet everything that was supposedly discussed in it is out less than 24 hours later. What?
Yeah, well, look, without giving too much away, maybe I can imply that neither Sarri nor the club had a problem with this information of what was discussed getting out. I think they were very keen to show the idea that, look, they're taking this seriously. Sarri wants to have a conversation about this, an open conversation with the players. He felt it had to happen immediately after the game. He didn't travel back with the team either. He went off with an assistant to go and prepare for the next day's training session and the match they have this weekend against Huddersfield. His priority was to see exactly, or try to get from the players, what is wrong, what they think went wrong. From his perspective and from the club's perspective, those first 45 minutes, Chelsea actually played relatively well, hit the woodwork, had chances to score. And then in the second half, it's not so much the two defensive errors that led to the two Bournemouth goals on the counter. It's the complete lack of reaction that came after that. And that's what's so befuddling to them.
Steve, it really was shocking just to see how this all played out in the aftermath of the game. If the result itself wasn't surprising enough, this is chaos.
It's an absolute it's a circus, is what it is. Have you ever heard anything ridiculous as the club are quite happy for what took place in a meeting to come out? I mean, it's just a complete shambles. And Sarri, for me, clearly has never been in a situation where he's been under severe pressure, because he looks as though he's drowning and he can't work things out. He's drowning. He can't work it out. He's blaming players. He's not even putting his coaching staff in the meeting. The press are finding out what the meeting was about. All of these things go against everything that ever happens at a proper football team, a football club. All of these things that he's been doing is page one, you do not do. When's it going to end?
Hey, as somebody who's been part of a backroom staff, when a manager does that to you, what's left?
I wouldn't allow it, actually. I would be very, very strong to the manager. Say, look, we need to be in this together. I don't think you separate. You separate the club. You're in it together. That old adage. The simple thing of the matter here is this:
what about singling out
Sarri
Hazard?
ball has been tumbled. Everybody knows what to do. You just sit on Jorginho. Everybody's done it. Tottenham did it. Arsenal did it. Bournemouth did it. What's the plan B? It's very simple. It's called in-game management. That's what you do as a coach on the sideline. This is not working. Yeah, they played okay in the first half. They weren't clinical to score the goals, as Gab says. He's quite correct. But something went on in that dressing room at half-time, because they were dreadful in that second half. Bournemouth absolutely walked all over them.
Ale, what about this continued seemingly picking on Eden Hazard? He's clearly the focus of this report, and it's not the first time that Sarri has singled him out.
And if it is by design that this information gets out, it's yet another way of saying, well, this guy is not doing what I'm asking him to do. This guy is not the player that he needs to be for me, and he's not fitting into the things that my team should look like out on the field. The truth is that this is his best player. And so finding a way to get the best out of your best player is part of the page one that Stevie is talking about. Now, what I find most concerning is when he comes out in a press conference and says, maybe I don't know how to motivate them. And at that point, I'm like, wait a minute. Well, if this is exactly what you're saying, and if this is not just a figure of speech, if this is what you're putting out there, and you think that this is a message that the players are going to take in and are going to be intelligent enough to say, you know what, there's nuance to this. No, perhaps not. If you're telling the players that you don't know how to motivate them, the players take the same reaction that they would have taken when last week you talked about your players in a negative way in a public forum. These things cannot happen in a public forum. And I don't care how innovative he is, and I don't care what his ideas are. Handling a locker room, a dressing room, is an old-school business. And these innovative ideas out on the field that do not translate into results and get exposed, and then you go into the locker room and blow up the locker room, and then you go into the press conference, and then you expose your players furthermore, that does not get things accomplished out on the field. And you saw it, evidenced by the fact that things were going okay, we're 0-0, we're fine. The moment they went down in the game, it became 1, it became 2. Now, all of a sudden, a couple of players with their shoulders down, they disappear from the game. It became 4 very quickly. That doesn't happen to a team that is together.